Hey guys, this is your girl Jocelyn with More Math Help, and this video I will introduce you to the properties of logarithms, and the objectives we will be learning or teaching in this video include rewriting logarithms with different bases, using properties of logarithms to evaluate or rewrite logarithmic expressions, and using properties of logarithms to expand and condense logarithmic expressions. The first property we will be learning is the product property. And this formula is used when two numbers x and y that are being multiplied by each other can be split into two separate logs, a log of each of the factors being added together. So let me show you this formula. Okay, it's log a xy equals log a x plus log a y. Okay, so let me show you an example now. Log 216 can be taken and broken down into two separate parts, like shown here. X and y are being multiplied, and we can take two factors from 16. So it will be two factors from 16. Let's use 8 and 2. Okay, so then we can take log 2, and then to show that we're using 8 times 2, we then split it up into addition. Log 2 8 plus log 2 2. Okay. The quotient property is when the log of two numbers is being divided by each other, x and y, as shown right here in the formula, and it can be split into two different logs. The log of the dividend, right here, minus the log of the divisor, y. Okay, let me show you an example now. An example would be, let's take log 2, again, of 5/3. Okay, we then can take 5 and use this property. So we would take log 2 5 minus log 2. These properties can be quite simple. You just have to use this formula and plug it in, really, but be careful that it makes sure that these numbers are positive and that this is not 1/4. Okay, the third and final property we will be learning is the power property. Okay, and the power property is if the number x of our log has an exponent, it can be moved to the front of the logarithm. So let me show you the formula for this. Log a x exponent r equals r times log ax. So we move the exponent to the beginning of the log. And because it is in the beginning, it's almost as if it's multiplied, so you can just put it right next to the log or leave it like that. And now let me show you an example. This is actually pretty simple. Log 2 6 exponent of 5. The 5 can be moved to the front of the log. So 5 log 2 6. Discuss these properties in very short terms, but if you need clarification, watch this video again and familiarize yourself with these properties, because they will be used a lot in these logarithmic equations that you might encounter.
And today's topic will be the change of base formula, and I have some examples here, as you can see. And first of all, this would be the formula, and for these problems you would most likely use a calculator, and for the bases, n here as I put, would usually equal log base 10 or lne on your calculator, are the two buttons that usually would show up on a calculator. And so for here you would put, since log base 2 is on the bottom. Basement, base, that's how I would remember it. Log base 2 on the bottom. As you can see here, if there's no log base something here, it would usually be a 10 or an E, as I said before. And so 9 would go here. And next you would input into the calculator log base 9, which is 0.301, and log base 2, which is 0.954, and I rounded it to the third place for a more accurate answer. As you can see, I put a almost equal to for, it's not precisely, but it's accurate, and you would get 0.36. Alright, hey guys, now that you know the properties of logarithms, you're now able to know how to do these logarithmic expressions and equations. So here I'll be telling you how to expand them. So first you have to find out if they have the same base, and well, of course they do, so unless you wouldn't be able to do the problem, because you need the same base to be able to use a property. So for here, log base 2 of x squared y divided by z. So as you can see here, they have all the same base of 2. And since x squared is being multiplied by y, that's the product property. And the product property says that you have to use addition. So for here, you would put log base 2 of x squared as 1 log, plus, since it's multiplying, log base 2 of y. And for here, it's dividing, which would be the quotient property. And the quotient property states that you must use subtraction when dealing with the quotient property. So you just tack on at the end log base 2 of z as 1 log. And the last step here, since there's an exponent here, you can use the power property and bring it to the front as a coefficient, and you get 2 log base 2 x plus log base 2 of y minus log base 2 z. And that's how you would expand this.
Since you now know the properties of logarithms in the beginning of the video, we will now be condensing logs. In other words, we will be combining the logarithms and making it into one single log. So here we have our logarithm that we will be condensing. It's 2 log base 5 of m plus 3 log base 5 of k minus 8 log base 5 of y. To start off, we must use the power property in reverse. This will take care of the constants or numbers on the left of the logs, which is 2, 3, and 8. Originally, the power property brings down the exponent, so if we're doing the reverse, the exponents must go up. So now we have our new logarithm, which is log base 5 of m squared plus log base 5 of k to the third minus log base 5 of y to the 8th. Now we must use the product property. We are using the product property because it is the sum of logarithms, which is underlined in red. The last step is to use the quotient property. We use the quotient property to take care of the subtraction sign, which is underlined right here. And now we have our final logarithm, log base 5 of m squared times k to the third over y to the 8th. Notice how it is now a single log.